Do you remember when you were younger, like maybe it was kindergarten, your teacher would show you a picture of 4 items and would be like, okay, so which one doesn't belong? And you then looked at the picture and there were 4 shapes and 3 of them were squares and 1 was a circle, and you got really excited and were like, I know what it is, I got it, it's the circle. Your teacher, she then congratulated you and was like, all right, now what about this? And she then would show you a picture with a bunch of different food items, and you were a little bit nervous, maybe even stumped a little bit, but then you realized it and you got it. 3 of them were fruit and 1 was a loaf of bread, and so you're like,
it's the bread.
And that was definitely fun to try to figure out as kids. But it's kind of crazy that even as little kids, we're taught to group things together and to categorize where things fit or where they belong. And at first, it seems pretty harmless, right? Like a loaf of bread with all the fruit. But as we get older, if we continue to categorize or stereotype or group things together, it can actually lead to hurt. It can hurt other people, and it can even hurt us. See, when we stereotype, or when other people stereotype, all of a sudden, we don't fit in with people because of the way we look, or because of the way we dress, or even because of the things that we like that maybe other people don't like. Or on the flip side, we end up not including people because of how they look or dress, and we start to make assumptions about them, and it can really be hurtful. So why do we do this? I think it all comes down to this, is that we want to belong somewhere. We all have a desire to fit in and to have somewhere that we know we're accepted. Like, have you ever been invited to a party or to a friend's house and you know that there's going to be some people there that you don't really know? And as you're getting ready for the party and you're driving to the party, you're really nervous and you start thinking, what if I'm the first one to show up? What if I'm the last one to show up? And by the time that I get there, everybody else has already started hanging out together, and so no one's gonna notice when I show up. Or what if the people that I know aren't actually going to be there? But then you show up and you walk in the door and right away someone calls your name. And that's like one of the greatest feelings, because now you're like, oh good, I belong here. They know me. I'm wanted here. We all want to fit in and feel accepted. This isn't a new feeling. It's something that every human in the history of humanity has experienced. When Jesus was on earth, he knew this feeling. But he also knew something that matters even more. And that's, as followers of Jesus, we have a place where we already fit in, just as we are. We don't have to try to dress a certain way, talk a certain way, like the right things to fit in. We fit in just the way we are. Jesus wanted to prove this to some of his closest friends, and so one night he did something crazy. He washed their feet. Like, he got down on his knees and he washed their dirty feet. And then he tells them and he tells us to go and do the same. So check out John chapter 13. It says this: after washing their feet, he put on his robe again and he sat down and he asked, "Do you understand what I was doing? You call me teacher and Lord, and you're right, because that's what I am. And since I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash each other's feet. I have given you an example to follow, and do as I have done to you." Here's what we see from those verses. You belong in the body of Christ. Jesus' message to his followers then is still true for us today. If you're a follower of Jesus, he gave us an example to follow. It's up to us to wash each other's feet and to follow his example. I know what you're probably thinking. So am I really just supposed to start washing people's feet? Well, you'll probably really start to freak people out if you just go around trying to wash everybody's feet. So I don't think that he was saying that you need to wash everyone's feet daily. The challenge here is bigger than that. It's serving others. We should be serving the people around us. We're called to give what we have to the church and being part of a community, the community that we have here. That's what it means to belong, to serve one another and to follow Jesus' example of community every day. You belong here. This community is a place for you to belong. And part of being in a safe community is also a reminder that when you are a part of group, it's a safe place. That what you say in group, it stays in group. You belong here. Here being at church, in person, or online. With us, no matter who you are, how you dress, or the things that you like, you belong here. And you also belong here being the body of Christ, the community of every follower of Jesus that goes beyond the walls of a building or even online. Even in those moments where maybe it doesn't feel like you belong somewhere, remember this: you belong here. We love you, and we're so glad that you're here. We'll see you guys next time.